So, see, in our last class, we were discussing what we were discussing. Let's just read that you will see that everyone has to go with threefold miseries. Is it not? No matter at what designation he or she is, he will have to suffer he will have to suffer the miseries of the threefold miseries. He will have to suffer. Yesterday, we were about to discuss one shloka. Basically, we were discussing that what is the philosophy of an impersonalist, how those impersonalists think that we all are one, we all are God. It's just we are because of the contact of illusory energy, we have bewildered, and now we have forgotten that we are God. And whatever activities we are doing, we are actually performing our leelas. But this is not true. Our constitutional state is that we are fragmental part of Lord Krishna. And for understanding this, here is this shloka. We will discuss this shloka today. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This shloka is, who is quoting this shloka? Lord Krishna himself. Means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself, he is quoting this shloka to Sanatan Goswami ji. In this shloka, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling our constitutional state of living entities. In reality, we all have forgotten our constitutional state. We are not aware about our constitutional state. And that's why we are doing all the rubbish thing. When any living entity, he have been forgotten, if he is not means in his memory, he is not aware that what is his constitutional state. When he is not aware about this thing, when he have forgotten this thing, then he will always do opposite things. Just like we all are doing here. Our constitutional state is that we are fragmental part of Krishna. Our real home is spiritual world. But because we have forgotten our constitutional state, that's why we are struggling in this material world, which is just opposite of our constitutional state. For example, Sumit Prabhuji, if you have forgotten that you have a brother, suppose you have a younger brother, if you have forgotten that, so will you feed him prasadam? I mean, of course, we often feed prasadam to everyone, but suppose if you have forgotten that you have a younger brother, and if your younger brother will enter in your house, so because of your forgetfulness, you will say, why are you coming here? Why are you coming in my house? You just get out of my house, don't come here. Because you have forgotten that he is your brother. So that's why here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling about the constitutional state of living entity. That first living entity should understand what is their constitutional state. First, he should understand his own form. This body is not our original form. Our original form is that we are servant of Krishna. Either one accept it or not, but this is reality. So this one should understand. So let's see. जीवेर स्वरूप हय कृष्णेर नित्य दास कृष्णेर तटस्था शक्ति भेदा भेद प्रकाश कृष्ण जीवेर स्वरूप हय कृष्णेर नित्य दास कृष्णेर तटस्था शक्ति भेदा भेद प्रकाश. So yes, जीवेर swarup, constitutional state of living entity, is that Haya Krishnera Nityadas, that he is eternal servant of Lord Krishna. It's not like he is servant of Lord Krishna from 5,000 years or from a specific period of time. He is servant of Lord Krishna from eternal time. Krishner Tatastha Shakti Bheda Bhed Prakash. Now this line is very interesting. What does it mean? Krishner Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha means the corner. Corner of what? Just like you will see the corner of a river. So we living entities, we are actually Tatastha Shakti. Just like you will see, there is a corner. One devotee is telling marginal potency. Yeah, okay. Just suppose that there is a corner of river. So if he is standing at that corner of the river, so now he can enter to that river also, or he also have one option that he can stay on the land. He has two options. Either he can enter in the river or he can stay on the land also. He has two options. So just like that, we living entities, we can take shelter of Lord Krishna, or we can take shelter of the illusory energy of Lord Krishna, that is Maya Devi. So living entities also have two options. That's why living entities are Tathastha Shakti of Lord Krishna. Either he can take shelter of Lord Krishna or he can take shelter of Maya Devi. There is no any third option. Either he will go in the party of Lord Krishna or he will go in the party of Maya Devi. There is no any third party here. Only two parties. That's why living entities are Tatastha Shakti. So you can see here is option. Either we can go towards Krishna or either one can go towards Maya Devi. There is option, but why there is option? Because love can't be forced. When he has desire to love Krishna, when he will have a desire to serve Krishna, then only he will choose to go towards Krishna. That's why there is option, because love can't be forced. Okay, next, Bheda Bhed Prakash. Now this is very interesting point. Bhed Abhed means there is difference. We have separate identity from Lord, but we are fully dependent on Lord. Just like you will see the sunlight, there is sunlight, there is sun and there is sunlight. Sun is not sunlight, but that is dependent on sun. It is separate from sun, but then also it is dependent on sun. This is really a big disease, let's say. That we are doing all our devotional services, but then also we are so much engrossed in sense gratification. So yes, one should understand this thing. I hope this point is clear here, that we have a separate identity from Lord Krishna, but we are dependent on Lord Krishna. We are only independent for desire, that either we will we will serve Krishna, or we will serve illusory energy of Krishna. We only have this independency to desire, whether we want to take shelter of Lord Krishna or we want to take shelter of Maya Devi. But we are fully dependent on Lord Krishna for every single thing. So this is very much important point. All right. Let's just get back to our English discussion now. Just a second, let me just adjust this screen. So I hope this point is clear now, that we have a separate identity from Lord Krishna. Okay, so we were understanding the expansions of Lord Krishna, that how Krishna expand himself in different incarnations and all the other energies. So we were discussing this point, and for making this point clear, we discussed this shloka, that our constitutional stated that we are servant of Lord Krishna, eternal servant of Lord Krishna, and we have a separate identity, but we are fully dependent on Lord Krishna. I hope this point is clear now. All right, moving forward now. Where were we? Human life by nature is full of suffering, and okay, we discussed this point also. All right, we were here. Now, if one got to know that this material world is not our real place, so it's not like we become pessimistic about it. No. In fact, we should try that how we can get rid of all these miseries. We should try to find out solution of that. And once we get the solution, we should just work on it. This is real intelligence. It's not like we become pessimistic. Oh, I'm so poor. I'm in this material world. That is not the solution. A sane man must look to eliminate these miseries and thereby become happy in life. And you yourself can experience this thing, that the day we came to know that our ultimate purpose of life is to serve Lord, because our constitutional state is that we are fragmental part of Lord Krishna, and by satisfying Lord, only by satisfying Lord, we can get satisfaction. There is no other way. We can't get satisfaction by satisfying our this dead matter, this material body. This is very important point, very confidential actually. And one can only get this by getting knowledge of scriptures. Very, very important. We are all trying to achieve peace and freedom from these miseries, at least unconsciously. And in the higher intellectual circles, there are attempts to get rid of these miseries by ingenious plans and designs. Yes. So everyone, see, this is as our constitutional state is that we are fragmental part of Krishna. So this is natural that we will always seek for peace. We will always seek for happiness. We will always seek for freedom from all the troubles, from all these miseries. This is this is natural. But what people are doing, they are, for getting rid of all these troubles, they are adopting these ingenious plans and designs. Means they are busy serving, satisfying this dead matter, this material body. You only tell me that suppose you have a very beautiful car. You have a very beautiful car and you're just busy decorating that car, you're polishing, you are coloring it, you are decorating it with many nice fragrant flowers. Will you get happy by that? Or will that car get happy by that? All those things? No, right? Because that car is actually a dead matter. It has no consciousness. So, same, we are not this body. This body is dead matter and it has no consciousness. Our body is moving. Our body is moving because inside it, spiritual soul reside. Right now, spiritual soul is there in this body. That's why it has consciousness. Otherwise, this body is dead matter. I was literally like reflecting on this thing. A few weeks ago, my grandmother, she left her body. So I visited there for her last funeral rites and all. So I was really reflecting on this thing that now that body has that the soul has left that body and now that body is just laying on the floor and it's not moving. Why? Because that body is actually a dead matter. It has, it will have consciousness till spiritual soul is there inside it. And you won't believe this, at least this was surprising for me also. It's not like uh, I was not screaming or weeping at that time. Normally, what happens when anybody, they leave their bodies? So people think that that man is no more. He is dead now. And that's why they just scream, they just cry, they just weep, they repent actually. But I was really like, because of course, because of the knowledge, everything was clear to me that no one has died. My grandmother has not died. It's just she has left her body. And like I was not experiencing any grief. Of course, I was just remembering all the things. I was just remembering that what my grandmother was able to do for Lord Krishna. Literally, all those thoughts were coming in my mind. Fortunately, she served deities of Radha Krishna her whole life. Although she was not reading any scriptures or stuff, but then also she was serving deities of Radha and Krishna. She used to visit Govind Dev Ji temple once or twice in a week. She was a devotee, of course, she was a devotee of Lord Krishna, but she was not following any scriptures or she was not chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. But you will see, she was serving the deities of Lord Krishna. And I was able to observe this thing that anyone who has even did a little service of Lord Krishna, Krishna never forgets it. That day, I don't know, I was just reflecting on this that Krishna is proving me this thing. Because although my grandmother, she didn't chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Of course, she used to greet me by saying Hare Krishna often. She used to greet me, but she was not chanting. But she was doing other services. So on the appearance day of Srila 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝗏𝗵𝗺 ji, she left her body on that day. It was Govind Panchami at that day. So I was just reflecting that Krishna is proving me that anyone who has done even a little service for me, he or she will get eternal benedictions. And this is so true. It's not like I'm praising my grandmother. I was just able to observe all these things that day. That how great Krishna is. Krishna gave me an amazing realization that day that anyone who has not even able to do a little service for Lord Krishna in this human life, his life has gone vain. So this is just amazing. So yes, what we were discussing, that this body is dead matter. No one dies. They just leave their bodies. But anyone who is trying to get peace, he's trying to become happy, he is trying to attain happiness by satisfying this dead matter, then he will not get any satisfaction or happiness. In fact, he will get dissatisfied every time. This is all practical thing. So yes, people are adopting all these ingenious plans and designs serving this dead matter. But the power that buffers all the plans and designs of even the most intelligent person is the power of Maya Devi, or the illusory energy. The law of karma, or the result of all actions and reactions in the material world, is controlled by this all powerful illusory energy. So anyone who is busy serving this dead matter, he is actually illusioned by the illusory energy of Lord Krishna. He is actually in the shelter of the illusory energy of Lord Krishna. We discussed this point that you have only two options. Either you go and take shelter of Lord Krishna, or you go and take shelter of Maya Devi, illusory energy of Lord Krishna. So anyone who is busy serving this dead matter, he's actually in the shelter of Maya Devi. And it's not like Maya Devi will feed that person very nice sweets. No, Maya Devi beats. Maya Devi slaps. And you know how she punishes? She just beat person on his faith with a boot, by a boot. Are you understanding? Shoe. And which shoe? The shoe which has a nail in it. She just throw that shoe on the face of that person. This is so true. Even anyone who is worshipping Maya Devi, oh Maya Devi, you are so kind, I will worship you, you give me all the material amenities. But then also it's not like that Maya Devi will not punish him. Maya Devi will punish him. And it's not like Maya Devi is our enemy. No. Maya Devi wants us to turn back towards Krishna. You only tell me, if anyone, just let's take practical example of school. If any student, he will not do his homework, or he will not follow all the rules which have to be followed in school, then he will definitely get punishment. You might all got punishment. You might got, means teachers often punish students who don't obey them. So same thing is happening here. We are not obeying the rules and regulations of scriptures, we are not obeying and we are not taking shelter of Lord Krishna, then ultimately we will get punished by Maya Devi, illusory energy of Lord Krishna. So it's not like Maya Devi is our enemy. She's punishing us so that we can go on the right track. Okay. The activities of this energy function according to the principles and regulations, and they act consciously under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Yes. Everything is done by the nature in full consciousness. Nothing is blind or accidental. This material energy is also called Durga, which indicates that it is a force which is very difficult to surpass. No one can surpass the laws of Durga by any amount of childish plans. Alright, we will continue this discussion in our next class. We will be understanding the meaning of Durga by splitting this word, but in our next class, not today. We'll stop here now. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.